I don't know why we have to have this conversation. I don't even know why we continue to have to talk about this. But we need to have a conversation. And I mean seriously, we need to have a conversation because this is getting out of control. For those of you who don't know the context, on Twitter a few days ago, people were losing their shit over Revan, of people not knowing who Revan is. And then you have the Fandom Menace being the Fandom Menace claiming we need to gatekeep people because they don't know what a video game character in Star Wars is. It's like, I don't know. I'm just gonna try to put it as polite as possible as I can for these group of people, but have you dumb motherfuckers considered that those who don't know who Revan is did not game on the Xbox original? Did not play the game when it came out in 2003? New Star How the hell do you expect a new fan who got into Star Wars through The Force Awakens to freaking know who Revan is? This is stupid. So you're going to gatekeep people because they had never heard of a video game character? Is this where the fandom has gone to? Is this really what we're doing? And this just reinforces the narrative, the stereotype of EU fans being gatekeepers. This is bullshit. If you don't know who Revan is, you know what? You likely never played the original game because you probably weren't old enough to do so. So we're just going to expect every person who's a fan of Star Wars to be familiar with every part of it? That's ridiculous. Especially for the EU. The expanded universe has thousands of stories, thousands of characters. You expect fans to be knowledgeable on them all? Are we going to gatekeep other EU fans who are not as knowledgeable about the EU as others? This is ridiculous. This is the kind of shit is what's killing the Star Wars fandom. It's why Star Wars, the fandom itself, is dying. Because who wants to be part of this environment where you can't even simply be a fan of Star Wars without having a bunch of man children basically saying, you're not a fan because you don't know what this character is. Oh, you're not a fan because you're not a fan of the original trilogy. You're not a fan because of this. You're not a fan because of that. This is bullshit and I'm fucking sick of it. If I have to be honest here, okay, yeah, I know I may have contributed to this at one point, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I didn't do it. But this is insane. This is reactionary bullshit to say that those who are fans of the sequels are not Star Wars fans. Bullshit. Because you want to know something? For those of you who are doing that, they did the same thing to EU fans. At the height of The Force Awakens hype, you people were part of that shit too. So don't act like you're innocent here. That you didn't gatekeep other Star Wars fans who were actually more dedicated than you. This is the kind of bullshit that pisses me off. It really does. Because people that were victims of gatekeeping are doing the fucking gatekeeping now. It's like, it is very difficult to have any sympathy for the Star Wars fandom. Honestly, I thought the fandom would have some form, foolishly, of tolerance to people who are not as knowledgeable about certain aspects of the EU. But this just takes the cake. Is Revan the most well-known, EU character? Yes. But does that mean those people who don't know who he is less of a fan because they don't know who Revan is? Revan is from a video game. Not every Star Wars fan is a fan of Knights of the Old Republic, the video game, or even cares who Revan is. So are EU fans who don't care about Revan, are they less fans than those who do? This is ridiculous. This is getting out of control. The amount of gatekeeping that I've been seeing lately, basically just keep you guys keep reinforcing the fact that this fandom is dead. That you guys are doing nothing but alienating new people to join this fandom. I don't know if you understand this concept, but if fandoms do not grow, they will eventually die. Star Wars is going to eventually die. If you are constantly gatekeeping new people out of the fandom, you know what? The fandom's going to stay stagnant and it's going to die. You cannot continue a fandom indefinitely without new blood. The new blood are going to continue Star Wars for many years to come. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of these entitled Gen X Star Wars fans basically telling us who is and who isn't a fan. No, fuck you. You don't get to tell me how much of a Star Wars fan I am because, I don't subscribe to what Star Wars is exactly like you do. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. I know, I'm, ranting and raving, which is something that people like, but I've been seeing this lately regarding the Revan controversy, and I'm fucking, sick of this nonsense from the most entitled fan base out there. And you know what? One thing I'm going to say for Thor Skywalker, there is no such thing as uniting this goddamn fandom. When every time there's a controversy, rather than try to unite the fandom seeks to divide the fans even more. Who's at fault, really, for why the Star Wars fandom is as divided as it is? Is it Lucasfilm? No. It's not Lucasfilm's fault. The fucking fans are incapable of tolerating new people. It's not Lucasfilm's fault why the fandom is full of a bunch of racist, entitled man-children that cannot accept that there's other people besides straight white men that are fans of Star Wars. And you know what? You want to prove how this is? Where's all the women in the Star Wars fandom? Where are they? Why aren't they active? Where's the people of color that are active in the fandom? Where are they? Silence. Yeah, you have some tokens. You have that Star Wars girl whose Star Wars knowledge is questionable at best. You have another whatever Star fan that's uses her her sexual orientation to shield herself from homophobia, even though she shits on people that are LGBTQ. It's like nobody wants to be part of this fandom that's part of my minority groups because they see what kind of atmosphere the fandom has and they don't actually get involved. Star Wars is a fandom that should be something we should be able to tolerate and have fun together. But Star Wars fans, those who claim that all we need to do to unite the fandom is to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, let's get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. What happens next? What happens after you get rid of her? You're just going to find another enemy because Star Wars fans are incapable of actually acknowledging and taking responsibility for their own damn actions. This bullshit is why, I've been turned off from the Star Wars fandom completely. And I have no regrets. When I hear about this stuff, on social media, it only reinforces my opinion that there's a reactionary, element in the Star Wars fandom that will never go away unless they die off. And as far as I'm concerned, the only way the Star Wars fandom will truly heal is if the biggest members of the fandom menace are deplatformed and never allowed back on social media. But that's not going to happen because YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever other platforms they may be on, they don't give a shit. They don't care about What these people are doing is toxic. They don't care that they're spreading racist propaganda. They don't care because, they're corporations. They don't give a shit. So, no, we're going to see the Star Wars fandom increasingly getting worse because of these individuals. And the people that haven't done anything wrong, who just want to enjoy Star Wars in peace, they are the blame. They're not the real fans. They're the ones that are toxic. Yeah, Raylos, as much as I don't like them, they're so toxic. Yet, what do they do that's harmful? They just ship two characters that you don't like. Yeah, that's really fucking harmful. Shipping Rey and Kylo Ren. That's really harmful. Oh, those who ship, maybe Luke and Han. Yeah, that's really fucking harmful. You're not hurting anyone. It's like, am at my breaking point with this fandom at this point. And I have no regrets. Yeah, my views on my channel regarding Star Wars content is nowhere near what it was before EU Gate. But you know what? I feel better knowing that I actually stand up for this bullshit. I cannot stand what the Star Wars fandom is. Every time I hear about these controversies, it makes me, wish part of me that I've never became a fan of Star Wars. And it's sad that I feel that way. That part of me wishes that I never discovered this franchise. I never became a fan, because every time I hear about these controversies, it just makes me angrier and angrier. It's heartbreaking to me that the very thing that I've loved for years, there's so much baggage behind it. Every single time I feel like I made some progress, it's one of the reasons why, if I do have a Star Wars group, it's very small. I won't tell anybody what it is, but it's very small, because honestly, I'm more reluctant to trust somebody if they're a Star Wars fan these days. Because every single person I've ever interacted with has been a backstabber. I'm not going to say any names, but for those of you who know who I'm referring to, you know what I'm referring to. They're entitled man-children. They act like you owe them something because, oh my God, I am a Star Wars fan. Oh, I watched this movie. Oh, I have a few toys here and there and a few video games. So that makes me, a fan. Even though we can't simply talk like human beings and have an actual conversation about the things that we love. No. Star Wars fans are like the fans that cannot have fun. It always has to be serious. They always complain and complain and complain and complain. They have no solutions behind the problems. It's like, okay, if you want Kathleen Kennedy to go, who's going to replace her? What's your solution? It's like, there's no solution. All these people want is to complain, 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 and complain. And you know what? When the average sane person sees this, or a new Star Wars fan, they see this, it's like, fuck this. I want nothing to do with this. Any sane person would feel that way. And you know what? Every person they turn away is Star Wars' future being, even more uncertain. It's like, you actually think the Star Wars, franchise is going to be able to continue indefinitely without new people? No, fuck you and fuck your gatekeeping. The only thing that we should be doing is we should gatekeep you fuckers out completely. The Star Wars fandom is not yours, and you have no right to tell Star Wars fans who is and who is not a fan. Because this makes you look like hypocrites. It really does. And, well, I got a bone to pick with a certain somebody. Hey, Matt Wilkins, didn't you say don't be a gatekeeper? Where is that to people who gatekeep other Star Wars fans? Where the fuck is that? Why aren't you actually criticizing people for doing this? Or have you never believed it yourself? Your silence on this whole situation is an admission that you don't believe it yourself. Honestly, everything that I've talked about is objectively true. And if you don't actually believe it, then you're in denial of just how bad this fandom is. And I've ranted about the fandom many times, you know, throughout the years. I've ranted about the fandom and how much I hate it. And all you need to prove how toxic the fandom is, just go on forums. Just go on your average YouTube video, go on your average Facebook group, go on your average Discord group, go on your average Twitter, and it's a fucking toxic, cesspool. The only way you can have a fun Star Wars group is if it's with people that you've regularly talked to who are cool people, and you have it as a small group that only a few people are a part of. Because as it stands now, there is no, building a good Star Wars group. Because majority of the Star Wars fans are not interested in actually talking about Star Wars. The only thing, that Star Wars fans are is a hate fandom. That's essentially what it is. It's a hate fandom. And they use anything and everything to shit on anything that's new, anything that the newer fans like, because, they cannot stand the idea of people enjoying stuff they don't like. It's like most of the people that use the EU now, it's like, how many of you motherfuckers have read the EU that shit on canon and by using stuff for the EU? Do you know anything about the EU? Or did you get your knowledge from, Wikipedia or Ryan Cannell, who I had having serious doubts if he actually read the EU like he claims he has. I have serious doubts. I'm serious. I really am fucking serious. Why is it that you use the EU to, shit on the new canon, but you won't ever talk about the EU on its own merits? And it's sad that I'm one of the few people on this fucking site that is reviewing the EU on its own merit, actually promoting it in my own way, and that's not valued. My contributions are not valued. And unlike certain people, I actually read the material, not do it what a certain somebody does, reviews material they haven't read in years, and talk about it. I've actually went through the work, actually read the material, then reviewed it. Is there better reviews? Yeah, there's better reviews of some of the material that I reviewed done by other people. But I'm one of the few people that actually still do ongoing EU content, despite the fact it barely gets any views. A year and a half ago, I had to make a choice between, do I stick with this toxic group and keep my viewership and betray my principles, or do I stick to my principles and lose everything? I chose the former because, unlike most Star Wars fans, I value my integrity. I value my principles. There is no principles in the Star Wars fandom. And anyone that's in denial of the toxic, element of the Star Wars fandom embraces it. This is Darcinovia, over and out. Fuck gatekeepers, and if you are a gatekeeper, you're gone. I have zero tolerance for your kind.